We will share you that app link. App reference anupanna.
Sure.
Install it. It's very simple. It operate. The complication is not much.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhupada. I think now the others, Vidya has joined. She also had a Zoom session. And
Okay.
now I think Sandhya madam may be joining. That's what she told me. I think we'll just proceed.
Keshu sonana.
Keso, yes, he's busy, because it's he said, he will try his best. But if it is there, sometime internet is not there in his village. So he's not able to join. He's still in the village. Welcome, friends. I think we will commence the proceedings for the day. Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Srimadananda Tirtha Bhagavat Padacharyobhyo Namo Namah Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Sthititolaya Niyati Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Vipralimba Viparita Madiprabhudan Vadan Rasya Kritavan Bhuvidatva Vadam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipatakam Tam Anandatirtha Munivaryam Namami Pujjaya Rahavendraya Satyadharma Rataya Cha Pajatam Kalpavrikshaya Namatam Kamadhenave Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadidamastuma Vishvidavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome, friends, and we are into the Kathopanishad again. And we will just, because as we are in the last part of the third Valli, where we are going to see the most important mantras, which are going to be the basis, for the other Vallis, as well as all these mantras are exemplified excellently in Bhagavad Gita also. So we will see all the aspects. Before that, as we discussed last week, in fact, as we discussed particularly with Prabhu, see, we will be just having just a sort of a thread of thought, from the beginning of the Kathopanishad. We will continue every week, but we will start with that so that we will be able to catch the thread of thought, how the entire development of the Upanishad has taken place, how it has exactly superimposes on our own life. Yeah, our life, as we have come into this world, it was not our choice. We had to come because it was ordained. Because we have got the karma bandhana, we will have to come and exhaust. So we have come. From that time onwards, how the life goes and how because it has got it is reflecting our experiences every moment of it. How we can take that experience to the highest possible level. Once we get to know how the life stream has been dealt with in particular Upanishad. So as we have discussed, because it is, the Upanishad starts with, when a 7-year-old boy who is observing his parents, he has come into this world, he is an introvert, we call Nachiketa. Nachiketa is a person who is supposed to be the highest among the human beings. So in Tattvavada, it is said, Hari Sarvottama Vayu Jivottama. Jivottama in the sense, he is the highest being, because anyone who has been come, as a sort of a power in this world, he is the highest. That's why, even in the beings, living beings, he is the highest. So what happens is that through him, we submit all our, because our submissions, as well, whatever peace we will have to get, we get through him. It is not directly, we can get it and all. So here also Nachiketa represents such a being. He is the highest, he is as good as Jivottama. So a 7-year-old boy, he was an introvert, and he had a brother, because when Advalaka was there, and his father, because he was, trying to give the knowledge to both his boys and all, but he is not dealt with in this Upanishad. It is Nachiketa, is the youngest boy who is an introvert, who is observing silently. He is gathering the wisdom, he is not speaking anything at all. When he has been observing, his father is doing, because as the human beings in this world, we are supposed to be doing our duties. The duties, as enshrined in the Gita is Yajna, Dana, Tapa. Because these three are being mentioned. It's Yajna is whatever you are doing with the highest focus. Whatever you are doing with the total devotion. Devotion in the sense, even if it is a work or even if it is something else, even where you are doing you will have to be, part of the whole sort of the society where you got an ordained duty, or if there is no duty on your own volition, you should take the duty, because you can't be, once you have come into this world as a being, you've got certain things to do. You cannot be sitting idle. But for that, you gather the experience. Your parents are initiating into the world. They are trying to tell, what type of a world you will have to deal with and what are all the qualities you should have. When those qualities and everything is being talked about, so then it happens, because you are observing, and mostly you are observing and learning. Sometimes are being taught, by seeing others. Sometimes, it is being told to us and we try it out, because every experience comes, unless you try it out, you will not be able to understand. As a child, will not be able to understand if the fire is, not good for the human, for the being, because once you get near, it will be hot. Unless the children also feel the heat of the fire, it will not understand, there is a heat in that. Likewise, every experience we are supposed to experience, then understand. But having understood the experience, if you should not become part of that experience, that's what it says. Once you touch the fire, you will not go near the fire once again. But whereas other experiences which you feel, it is giving a pleasantness, it is giving some happiness or momentary happiness and all. Once you get that, you just go on indulging slowly into that, because it gives you some momentary happiness. So that becomes a habit. Once the habit is formed, because then you get indulged into that, you are not able to get other experiences which has been ordained for in this world. So this is exactly Nachiketa, a 7-year-old boy, represents this boy when he was observing his parents, when his father was doing a yajna, which was supposed to be done in those days, that was the way it was to be done, because you were participating in the society, you were giving whatever you had, he was doing a Vajasini yajna. I think when he was doing, because he has to give whatever is left with him, he should not have anything of his own. In the sense, you are giving back to the society what you have. Even today, what we are thinking, because what we have got from the society, how many times we think, what we have to give back to the society? Maybe in the form of service, or maybe in the form of the some other, the participation, because where you have got to, you can give your at least, the service in the form of physical help or financial help or some other you will be able to give. This is exactly the motto, this boy has developed at the young age of 7 years. So as he has been going through that, when he is observing the father, when he is doing that great yajna, he knows what is the purpose of yajna. He has to give whatever he has, but he was giving whatever useless things or raddi, whatever you gathered as scrap, he was giving it like that. In those days, the cows are considered to be wealth. So the wealth was, when you come into wealth, Pashu was another connotation of the wealth of a person. Pashu in scriptures and Veda, when they say Pashuman Bhavati, so Ayatanam Pashuman Bhavati, in the sense you be wealthy. That's what it says. Because in fact, today we will be having on Suptam for our meditation. That is, how to augment your wealth or how to augment your income. That's what we are going to see that. So that was the purpose, because then when you have the wealth, Pasman Bhavati, you will have to give the wealth to share it with the society. First, you share it with the family. When you become a family man, you share it with the family, and then with your children. And then once it goes, because your entire circumference goes beyond your nose, beyond your family circle, you share it with others. Because finally, Kasyasvitanam, whatever Ishavarsham, Idagum Sarvam, Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat, Tena Takyena Bunjita Makrita Kasyasvitanam. It's all he has given. You be happy with what you have got and finally share what you have been left with. That is the purpose. After all, you are not going to take it. But when finally when you give whatever you have to give it to your family members, dutifully what you have to do, your parents and all, whatever is left, you are not supposed to be having afterwards. In those days there was something called Vanaprastha, you are supposed to be going there. When he was observing, because his father was giving all this sort of useless material, Jaktatrana, Duktadoga, and all those things, which can't give milk and which can't even take, it's the last, but, it can't take the water also, it can't give any milk. It is almost at the verge of, the giving up its body, that is the name he gave it all those things. He was wondering if you are doing, you will be reaching, because that's not good for you, because you are not supposed to be doing what you are supposed to do to conduct this particular yajna. So Ananda Loka, because like a miserly person, who is, who want to keep everything, to his people. He wants to give whatever is not required and whatever is not useful to others, you are giving it. That's what, the world is doing nowadays. When everyone is trying to give, offer and all, they don't give what he has, what is useful to others, what is useless to others, that is a normal human tendency. To veer away from that only, because the Upanishad exemplifies, and he asks, because why are you giving? By doing that, you will be doing the Ananda Loka. Ananta is the highest end, Adi. But Ananda, it is like a joyless. It is what you can call hell. We have got 7 type of hells. We have got 7 type of swargas. You will be getting into one after the other, depending upon the intensity of your sort of, because wishes, you will be getting into a different type of hell, because he was feeling his father should not be getting that type of a finally outcome after conducting that. So finally his father, because cursed him, you get lost, you go away from this world. Because in those days, it is also a psychological, because the process going into is just not, mentally and physically, though he may be as a there as a body, mentally and psychologically, astral body and causal body, everything left. Because he is so intense, he was thinking about all those things intensely because he has got, because several births, he has accumulated all the knowledge. Now it has all come into the fourth. It is going to converge and bring us into the final knowledge, because the unsurpassable knowledge no one could get. He is going to get that knowledge. He has become eligible for that knowledge. So when he said, because psychologically and mentally, and you can say, but as per the scriptures, you are supposed to have reached the Yamaloka. Yes, he has gone. Once you have left the body, that is the only place, you are supposed to be, because the scriptures are also telling you will be taken in and you are taken away from here and you will have to reach there. He went there. After he went there, because he was there and once he was there, because he has got a great duty. He is a Dharma Raja, and as well as he is the one who is to maintain this world. So he was busy with something else, because he was not able to attend to him for 3 days. So Atithi, because he went there at Atithi. Just to recollect ourselves, Atithi is the one who is unexpected, who comes all of a sudden, who befuddles you by his presence. Someone comes and gives you some information which becomes the lifeline for you to take the clue and become someone else. These things happen in our life. Someone advises us. We may not be knowing about a particular course. We may not be knowing about a particular university. We may not be knowing about a particular profession. But someone advises you, we take the cue from there and we are going to it all happens because Atithi, the Atithi comes, it may not be coming to your house as a guest, and he comes and meets you and you get to meet him. That is Atithi. Without any appointment comes. All of a sudden, it is ordained because you are eligible for that, you have got in your account. So many good things you have happened because you have done it, because all those accumulated, there is nothing called a luck. So therefore, this is exactly, because has been talked about. So once it has been, the Atithi, as Atithi has come, Atithi has to be looked after. That is why, because our scriptures say, Atithi Devo Bhava, in the sense, it's not only a Deva, he is a Deva. You will have to give him all services and you make him happy, contented. And you have to satisfy him, because when Atithi doesn't take any, nothing happens to Atithi. It happens to you. Because, you are not supposed to take care of. He's a God's messenger, you can say. In the Christian gospel, they say, the messenger of the God, when he comes and tells you, he's like a messenger of the God. He comes unannounced, rightly. So then when Yama comes back, he feels, though whatever he is there, even if he is a 7-year-old boy and he understands he is most eligible boy, he was able to get the vibration. He knows, in spite of the fact, whoever has comes, he should have entertained, because he is a Dharma Raja. He knows what is Dharma. Atithi Devo Bhava, he knows. He, letter and spirit, Yama is the one who follows. And letter and the spirit, he makes everyone to follow. Those who do not follow, then the Yama does, what he has to do. He does it. That is, because his job. So then he says, you are here for 3 days as a penance, because as a sort of, I want to sort of, atone for my own absence during your presence here. So I will give you 3 boons. You ask me what is that? The young boy, being young boy, infant, he says, look, whatever I have told my parents and whatever, I told my father. I think, Vidya, you'll have to mute your mic. whatever I have told my father, because it must have angered him. But when I get back to the physical world, I think, he should be able to accept me as his son. So here, I think Nachiketa was so clever. He wanted to be back in his body and after getting the knowledge. Because normally once you get the knowledge, you will not be able to come back into this world. So he asked indirectly, so I will have to be a loving son to my father once again. How can he be loving to the son unless he comes back to the earth? So Yama knows that offered him. He is eligible after getting the knowledge. It's not that you will be here in the astral or causal world, you will be getting into the physical world to be the son of your father. So he gives that. And the second one, he said, I want to know the highest knowledge. It's the yajna, because it's Nachiketa Agni, which is called. It is the Agni Yajna, which is being done. Trinachiketa Agni, because it is being known later because of his absorption of the knowledge. He want to know that yajna to get the highest wisdom, highest knowledge. So you will have to do that yajna 3 times in your life. So 3 has got a great meaning in our philosophy, because when we say 3, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti 3 times when we say, we are addressing 3 different worlds. One is Adi Bhautika, in the sense physical world, gross world. Then Adi Devika. Devika is the sense which is the cosmos, cosmic world, where, because which is not in our control. In physical world also, it is not in our control. We do not be afflicted by any sort of a physical impediment, not the cosmic impediment. The last one is Adhyatma. Adhyatma is your internal. You got a world within inside. Because in your world, it is Hridaya Akasha, where you are the entire living and the life energy, Paramatma is living, where you are getting into that Adhyatma. Adhyatma Yoga Adhigamane, because which we have seen, because where that is another travel, that is an experience, highest experience in this world for which we have come. Are we able to get is going to be the question how this Upanishad takes us to that. So when you have gone all the 3 things there, and Trinachiketa Agni, 3 times when you have to do, first time you do, second time you do, 3 times you do, you become most eligible to get the highest knowledge. Because by doing this yajna, every time you are just burning all your desires, burning all your ambitions, burning all your sort of the I-ness, burning me and mineness, everything goes off. So once you become totally free from whatever the world is going to offer or what you are going to interact with this world, you are able to see the world with a different perspective. You are away from the world, but yet you are able to observe the world. So you are part of the world, still you are not submitted into, you are not submerged into the world. Majyanti, because of one word this, you are not getting into the world and you are dissolved into this world. You are still keeping your aim. The second one is that also is offers, and it is very, it is a sort of, all yajnas, they have got the certain rules, regulations, certain mantras, how to do it, everything Ishta, he says, even how many bricks you have to use in the Homakunta, and what are all the dana you will have to do, how you will have to do the dana, to whom you will have to do the dana, and how you will have to behave yourself with that you are giving, and you are an instrument through which it is being given. That is what it has to come. So once you have all those things, you will be able to get that. When Yama gives him that particular knowledge of it, he is able to grasp just like that. Just like the fish into the water, and he was able to get it, and he was just befuddled. No one I have not seen in this world to get that knowledge. Because everyone tries, no one is able to get, but you are getting it just like that because you already become eligible. So he said, whatever yajna, whatever agni I have just taught you, that because the Brahma Yagni, henceforth it will be known as Nachiketa Agni, because you have got it so much. Prajnayan, he says you have become a master of that. And even because you will be able to teach me now. You absorbed everything, because when you get the knowledge, when you read a book, are you able to get the full essence of it? Are you able to get the port of it? See, same book, I may be reading, I may have a view. You may be reading, you may have a view. The other person who is most mastered, a person who is a professorial type, he will have a different view. A man who has gone beyond that, who is a master, what he, because he is almost an author, and he will have a different view. But this person is able to get all the views, whatever is in content, he was able to get it. One of the reason why Madhvacharya was called Madhvacharya is Madhu Ava iti Acharya, because like the butterfly, when it takes the honey from the flower doesn't get disturbed. It does take the flower only. It not only takes the flower one makaranda, what they call it, from makarand. So it not only takes from one flower, it takes from different flowers. It has got, because the different flowers will have a different flavor, because even the honey will have a different sort of qualities. It is able to collect everything together and in a part. That is what we call amrutatvam. That amrutatvam is able to get. That is, once you are able to get that knowledge, once you are able to get that is why Madhvacharya was called by Madhu Ava iti Acharya, and he was able to collect the wisdom and he was able to bring it. And he was able to quote from all scriptures, different scriptures. If you see his bhashyas, I think wide varieties of some of the scriptures, we may be able to get it, or we may not be able to get it. Sometimes, even if you go to the scriptures, you will not be able to locate where he is quoting. That is why, to understand, the great bhashyas like Srimad Madhvacharya's bhashya, you need another explanatory bhashyas like by Raghavendra Swami has written the Kandartha. He has also written Anuvyakana also. Jayatirtha has done a masterly work. Without that, we will not be able, because he has collected everything and he is trying to give it in a precise and simple form. To understand that, you may not be able to reach that level. Therefore, these great masters, they have brought it out to you so that you are able to get something out of it. You may not be able to grasp, even the major portion of it. At least you will be able to get something out of that. So this is how, because Nachiketa was that. He's like, he got the entire grasp of it. Having got, he was very, very happy, and he said, why not you? And he gave him, without asking the boon, he said, henceforth the Agni will be called as Nachiketa, like a bonus. It's not a boon, he has not asked for that. But after seeing that, I wanted to know only this knowledge of Agni. But having seen his grasping, he said, look, you are so great. Everyone, I want someone like you to be there in this whole world. He called it as a Nachiketa Agni. And the third vara he has asked, now you go about and ask me the third vara. The third vara is the one, which he asked. The entire Upanishad is trying to answer that third vara. What we have seen is still we have not got the answer, but we are only finding the way to get the answer, the procedure to get the answer, the modalities to get the answer. This is where, because we are getting into. So when he says, because don't ask this particular question, after this body has been left, where the soul goes, what happens to it? This is what he asked. This is a question every religion is trying to understand. Whether Christianity, Judaism, Zoroastrian, even Islam, all other religions are trying to address and trying to explain, because when no one can know what happens to this body after their soul, after this body has been left. So that we have seen in Isavashya Upanishad. When Basmantam Sariram, when everything goes off, what happens to that? That is where he questions answers. This is not only the question, because in our philosophy, it is the question in all other philosophies. Western philosophy also, Eastern philosophy also, in other philosophies also, even the people who have been giving a different dimension, like Frederick Nash, so many other masters, they've also done. So what is the purpose? What happens to that? This is what the question that has been answered. This has also been psychologically dealt with by a lot of masters, even in the Western world. The question has been asked by Nachiketa. We are going to see how it is going to be sort of answered in this, how it is going to be taken, the procedure, how it is. First, they are preparing us to do it ourselves to get the answer, understand the procedure to get the answer. You will not be able to understand the answer so simply. This is a great question. In this context only, I will try to bring. In 1974, one of the great author, because Erich Becker, he's a psychologist. He wrote a book. It got the Pulitzer Prize. So some of us may be knowing there is one Pulitzer Prize in US. It is given to a lot of, because the informational and fictional, non-fictional and all. The non-fictional one, this award was given in 1974. It is called the denial of death. We say, because Nachiketa has almost left his body and gone into the Yama's world, where he has gone and tried to get the highest knowledge. Whereas this is the question all other religions are trying to ask, so is our own religion also. Our scriptures are also addressing this issue and taking it to the ultimate, because whatever and where it takes, it doesn't leave asking the question, it takes it to the, not only the logical end, it is the spiritual end where you will be able to get. But logically, you will not be able to get the end of it. Logically, you will not be able to analyze this question. The denial of death, incidentally, because it is considered to be the masterpiece, psychological masterpiece in the 20th century. You can see, because in your internet, Eric Becker, Denial of Death is the book. There is everything, so Wikipedia, everything is there. What he says is every moment when we are living in this world, we are trying to make sure that we are existing. The sense, we have not left the body. So when you have a headache, immediately what you do? You take a Saridon or Aspro or paracetamol you take because you want to see, because when it goes off, the body is okay. So the body should not be left. And when you are trying to live in this world, what you are trying to do? See, because all of us want to be a sort of, because we have got our own, because the moorings, we have got our own idiosyncrasies. I want to be known something like that. I want to have a name and fame. Whether I deserve or not, that is different question. I want to be someone who everything thinks, because this man is talking about Upanishad. I may not be knowing even the 1% of the Upanishad. I may be talking because whatever I have been learning and I am sharing, that may be, but I need not be the one. But if I think someone, everything should respect me and all, I am deceiving myself. Self-deception. But then, this is what Becker says in the Denial of Death. We are trying to, because since we are not able to address, because the one question, because in this context, I will bring that very relevant question in Mahabharata when Yudhishthira was asked that question by the Yaksha. The small, because for a recap, I will just give that, because in a minute I will give it. So when they were in Agyatavasa, all these Pandavas, they were living in a village. And they were having one sadhu who was residing nearby. And he was having, because he was having a dog as well as a deer, he was bringing it up and all. And it was just grazing and coming back one day, because it didn't come back. So he asked Pandavas, why don't you help, because I think he didn't know they are Pandavas. He asked them, why don't you go and why don't one of us help me out and all. So the Yudhishthira sent his brothers, one of them. He said Sagadeva, because he is the one, who is Nakula, Sagadeva, one after the other he sent. Because Sagadeva is supposed to be a very intelligent man. He knows everything. He will be able to, astrologically, he is supposed to be having the highest knowledge and all. He went there. Then when they went, they were not able to find. Finally, they reached the forest and they got so tired. Almost they were able to sort of so tired, they were to fall asleep. It's like that. And even they were feeling thirsty. There was no water. Finally, when they end of the forest, when they went there was an Yaksha. Yaksha was there, and the Yaksha said, what is that? You want some water and all. So then there was a big pond, a big lake was there. So then he was going to take the water of that lake, the Sahadeva. So then Yaksha asked him, I will ask you a question. I will ask you a riddle. If you ask that, if you answer the riddle correctly, you can go and take the water. And if you, without that, if you go and take the water, you will leave your body. You will be dead. So Sakadeva, he asked the riddle and then he said, I will. He couldn't answer. He just took the water. He was dead. One after the other, the brothers, one after Nakula was dead, and then he sent Bhima. Bhima is the most sort of a valiant one, and he has got the enormous energy. He can do anything and all. And he has also got the sort of power of becoming small and growing big, everything and all. He also couldn't do anything. Then his master, master brother, who is capable of doing the entire, taking out all the three worlds, with his power of the archery. He sent him. He was also finally dead. They didn't return. He got worried. Why? Because not only, that what the saint had said, his own that deer was not available. Not only, because all my brothers are not, they have not come back. So quite worried, he also went into the same path. Finally, when he also got tired when he was about to go and take the water, and then he said, you will be able to live only if you answer the question of my riddle. He asked, what is the most surprising, what is the thing most surprising in this world? Every day, you are living in this world, what the most? Then Yudhishthira said, most surprising thing is, everyone is trying to get whatever he wants to get, whatever he doesn't need also he wants to get, accumulate everything, whatever he wants to do, everything he wants to get the name and fame, everything he does. And everyone has to finally one day go. That they don't remember that. They don't remember, they will have to leave the body someday and go, that no, they don't remember, as if they are going to live forever, they are doing everything. That is the most surprising and wonderful thing in this world. And Yaksha was satisfied with that. And then he said, because this is the right thing you said. Finally, in fact, that Yaksha was nothing but Yama. That's why, I brought this. Yama came, Dharmaraja came to test the, because he is just be a sort of incarnation of Yama in this Mahabharata. Because he had all the benefits of it. He is supposed to be, having the entire, whatever the Dharma is there. Yudhishthira was embodiment of every Dharma, just to test him. When he got tested and finally he got it, all his brothers, they brought them alive, because he could answer the riddle and all. This is the story that says. This is exactly the Becker says. We all do the things. We know, this, but we are not bothered, because we are all afraid of the self-integration. When we are doing everything to protect the body, to protect the life, to protect the life we are leading now. Nothing more than that. We are trying to, yogatshemam in the sense, keeping everything together. My body, my family, my house, everything, we are working for, and I am in the politics and I have to become something. And, because you want to be something, you are a student of a university, but you do not want to be a student. I am from IIT. I am from Ivy League, Harvard. I am from Stanford. And you want to say like that. So these are all, what he says is, these are all the insecurities we are trying to protect. What if you are not from any of these things? He's telling, because when you are looking for that, you are then, because then supposing, even if it doesn't work, then you are trying to do something else, because you are trying to give your personal, idiosyncrasies. I don't take coffee. So what? So many people don't take coffee, but you want to give, because you are trying to tell in the community where people are taking coffee every day, so that you want to be someone different. So these are all, because what is happening, these are all, we are boosting our ego, we are boosting our I-ness. We want to be sure we are different from others and all. By doing that, you are trying to bring, that is beautifully it says, this triviality is what you are indulging in. The trivialities by which you want to differentiate. You are tranquilized by your trivialities because you want to protect, because you don't want to self-integrate. In the sense, if you give up the ego, you will self-integrate. Not only the body. See, you will self-disintegrate because you are protecting the ego. You are integrating all your things. When we mean a person, I am so and so. It is all my thoughts, my behavior, and because how I talked and all. People will talk about he used to do like that. He never used to take water after food. He used to take tea only with the lemon. He will not take milk tea. I like that. These are all the things I want to differentiate. What is so great about it? That is what he says. You are not able to address. You are afraid. You are covered. That is why he titled as a denial of death. In the sense that is what it happened. This is exactly nothing but Yudhishthira has exemplified in Mahabharata. Having taken that, this is the question Nachiketa asked. You just see how when 20th century's highest psychological exponent, what he has written is the denial of death. A 7-year-old Nachiketa in our scriptures have asked several million years ago, because it has been brought into that, because this is the question everyone has to address. Philosophy and psychology finally to address this book. So when he comes to that, because Yama tries to entice him as the world is enticing us. So because you are getting into politics, because you are being, you have an ambition, I have to become a minister or a chief minister, a prime minister or something like that. Or if you are joining an organization, I will be sometimes, I will have to be a GM, I will have to be a director, I will have to be MD or something like that. It goes on. But all these things, because it's all only psychological status. But everywhere you have to do your duty. But once you detach yourself, you will be only doing the duty you are untrained for. A janitor who is looking after your toilets, if he is doing the duty so sort of a focusedly, he is much better than a man with an ego sitting here feeling that I am doing the entire thing. Because he will be able to do the better job, but you will not be, because you will be clogged, with your own psychological, all these cloggings, which has come. You will not be able to declog. You will not be able to declutter. This is what Upanishad says. So in that context only he brought it, and then he tried to give a lot of inducement, as you would say, because once you become why you want to become a senior manager or a GM, I may get a car, or I may get a car allowance, I may get a house, I may be able to travel like this, I may be all this till such time you are there. So when you have all these things, inducements, likewise, Yama also gives inducements. Why are you asking, even the devas who are supposed to be the most enlightened, these beings, and even they are confused, they are not able to do it. Why do you want that? He gives him a lot of inducements. I will give you get whatever land you want, whatever lifetime you want to live, I will give you that boon. You don't, because till such time you say, I'm going to live in this world, and you can be living in this world, not to worry about it. Everything he says that. So but he was not induced. I do not want to have any of these things. He's an introvert. He has come with the specific purpose for me. He has already asked, after getting the knowledge, he's going to get back to this world. Because it has been ordained such a way in this Upanishad, because of him, all of us are going to get the knowledge. Nachiketa's discussion, because of that, we are able to get the knowledge. It is for the entire world to know that. The entire world, the denial of death has been written by Becker for the Pulitzer Prize. Likewise, Nachiketa has brought this great source into, I said, when he said, because then Yama explains one after the other. And once he sees, he is totally steadfast and this, and he said, having come to a person of such a knowledge, like you, I will not just go back without the knowledge. Nothing else is required for me. You take away everything, all other boons, nothing. He gave even to the store steadfast. So then, having seen, his sort of a fastitudeness, how he is stuck on to the purpose, how he is concentrated, in finding out the real the knowledge. So he slowly explains him, because he tries to explain. Then we have come into the second Valli. The second Valli says, because when you are living in this world, all your experiences either take you to the pleasurable thing, or you take you to the what is preferable thing, preferable for your growth. What is delectable for your world, or what is desirable for your growth. He says, these shreyas and prayas, two names. He says how you will have to get into that, because that is what, you will have to be a shreyas. And then he says, it's not only that shreyas and prayas, because you've got always choices. The human being, because the market economy is always choices. You can buy anything. It offers you choice. It can give you the 50 lakh car also, it gives 5 lakh car also. Whatever you want, you can buy. If 50 lakh car is going to satisfy your ego, you can dispense with 50 lakhs and get it. But if utility point of view, 5 lakh car is going to be suffice your purpose, you can do that. The choice is there everywhere in the market. It's likewise, life also has got the choices. Which choice you are exiting? Then he explains the choices. And he also says, but you have exercised the first choice. You have said what is preferable, what is desirable. You have not gone into what is delectable. So then, when you have got that, there is everyone in this world. I want to be a Nachiketa. In the second Valli he says, Na Samparaye, he says, I have to get someone like that. And having done that to him, he finally says, then for everything you need a guru. And then indirectly he says, you have come to the right guru. Yama is the right guru. He says, to find out a guru is a very great thing. Pandita Manyamanaha. He says, everyone thinks he's a guru. I will be able to see, everyone wants to teach the world. No one wants to learn the world. In your house, everyone will suggest, you should do it, you should not do it. The elders will say, you should have done like that. See, everyone will say, but how many of them, will take it? Why don't you tell me, because how you have done this? What is that? What is the suggestion? Because everyone wants to be a teacher in this world. So Pandita Manyamanaha, Dandramyamanaha. The other crooked people, they will take, if you go there, there is one person, he has solved so many people's problem. You want to take a shortcut. Go and tell him he will give you something for 10 days, you do it, shell out some money, but whatever he does that thing, you do it with the full things. And finally you don't get it and you go to him again. Because he is such a wise person, crooked person, he will be able to tell you, because already you got some improvement. You do it another 10 days, you will do it likewise. Or you will go to the astrological sort of consultant, he will tell you, your grahas are, because doing different things, and you will have to satisfy that. What grahas will do? Grahas are there. It is considered in our scriptures also. But what they do, once you are able to get, the grahas get their potency because of your action. Not because of the grahas, you are doing it here. That people have to understand. If you see any of the horoscope, have you seen the first 4 words, anything that has been written? Janani Janma Saukyanam. Janani Janma Saukyanam, because once you have come into this world, to get the Saukya in the sense, the happiness. You have been born, but you have not chosen your parents. You have been born to your parents. This is the time you are born. Janani Saukyanam. Vardhani Kulasampatam. What your behavior, what your attitude, whatever. That is, because the lineage in which you have come, how you have been brought out by your parents, how you have observed your uncles, what type of, grandparents are there, how they have, because imbued the knowledge in you, how you have got it from them. Vardhani Kulasampatam. Patavi Purya Punyana. Whatever you are going to achieve in this world is in whatever you have done earlier. Your account, what is there? So Vardhani Kulasampatam, Patavi Purya Punyanam, Janani Janma Sankyanam, Likyate Janma Patrika. In spite of all these things, disclaimer he says, I'm just writing your horoscope, all these things are dependent on that. This is a disclaimer. If anything happens, it is based on that. Despite that, I am writing that. The disclaimer he gives. The disclaimer no one reads. So we go by that horoscope. Horoscope has said, I will become a prime minister next year. If I go under, because only some stones will be thrown at me, because I will not be there anywhere in that. So it is like that, because you should not be Dandramya Manyamanaha, because don't get by this crooked and shortcut ways. Don't go for that. When he says everything, then you will have to go to the Guru. Guru, then Adhyatma, Yoga, Agamane. When you are able to, if he is able to bring the Adhyatma to get into the internal journey, when you are able to understand yourself, how great yourself, you are not only the ego. Your ego is a sort of a collection of all your thoughts, wisdom, and your attitudes, your idiosyncrasies, all your falsified notions, everything. We are the ego, that is what it is. The personality, what we call it, is all falsified. We don't know the exact pure personality. The pure personality will come only when you get into the internal journey. When you get into that internal journey, then you will be able to get that. Then you will do that. And then he says, what he will show. What he said, because when he says, because of the beyond the cause and effect, what is there? So what is the one, which is causing everything and all? Finally, what the Guru will show you. Then he says, Alambanam Param, Alambanam Sreshtam. That is Om. The Om, the primordial syllable, the one on which you'll be focusing. In fact, what we are doing meditation every time, we have a Om, because that takes you, to the highest realm where the man can just focus and calm his mind. It's not only the silence, it's the silence of the soul, because the soul becomes, the soul knows who is God. The soul knows, our Jivatma knows, Jiva Swarupa knows who is Paramatma. But to know that, because the Jivatma has to be taken to that level, the I-ness has to be. That is why, the proverb, Naham Karta, Hari Karta. I am not doing it. It is getting it done by me. So once you have that, you will have that. This is the concept in which he is saying. In this context only, he is slowly bringing about how to get this sadhana. The sadhana is the third Valli we have come into. The sadhana is the one where he says, the subtleties, the object is subtle, and the senses are subtler than the objects, and the mind is subtler than the senses, and the intellect is subtler than the mind. and this cosmic mind or the Mahat or the Brahma, who is, because the intellect is, because that is subtler than this. And after that, Avyakta is the Prakriti. Prakriti is the Shri. See, Lakshmi, Mula Prakriti. She is the one who created, who is the entire, the foundation for this world. She. Beyond that, it is Purusha. Purusha is the final one. Paramatma. Beyond him, nothing else is there. This is what so far has said. In explaining, to get into the sadhana only, we are into the third Valli. And so far we have come up to the 12 mantras. We will continue with the 12 and 13th mantras up to 17 to understand this. This is a prelude, because as rightly suggested by Prabhuda, I just wanted to share it so that we can understand the context in which we are continuing. It's not only this is the question what Nachiketa has asked for Mambo Jumbo. It has been, with all the great masters, all the theologists of Christianity or Islam, Zoroastrian, and psychologists, psychoanalysts, even Freudian principles who are following, everyone had this question. That's why I quoted this famous book called Denial of Death by Eric Becker, which got the 1974 Pulitzer Prize, considered to be the monumental work in the leading light of the 20th century. We will also see some part of the book from Night. And we will also see, because there are certain other beautiful books. See, what we are thinking, what we have to understand, the Western world has done it in a different way. Whereas we here, because going by our rituals and our limited, the interaction with the world, and we are always, and as he rightly said, we are all tranquilized by trivialities of the world. We are having the fence of that. We will have to come out of that. We will see next week, how we are going to continue the process. I will conclude today. We will have a small meditation. This meditation is really, because it's one of the meditations that will attract everything. This is how to increase your income and how to increase your resources and how to whatever way, because from your investment or from your collecting from your debtors or, you get everything and all, it's something like that. It is given in a different context. We will explain how it is. It is in the Rig Veda. The Veda says it is. So we'll listen to that so that, we'll wish everyone, because it gives ambience to increase the income in the righteous way. That's what it says. We'll go for that. Sahana vavatu, sahana bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahaihi, tejasvina vadidamastuma vishvidavahaihi, om